These are my eBay sales for December 2024 through January 2025. And also I wanted to talk about my numbers, my overall numbers for 2024 as a whole. So let's go ahead and get into the items that I sold in my eBay store. And before I get into exactly what I sold, in terms of my sourcing, a lot of the stuff that I sell is stuff that I've owned previously. It's also, I discussed in the previous eBay update that my brother, he works in the college and he kind of gets a lot of lost and found stuff that's not claimed. He sends that to me, I resell it. So there's no, so I mean, do give him like 40 bucks for that, for each box. So my sourcing cost is very low. I also work in a hotel, and sometimes I receive lost and found stuff that, you know, people who've left stuff behind, they don't claim after a period of time, and the person who submitted the item that they found that was lost, the hotel basically gives it back to the person who found it. So let's go down the items that I sold for the month of December. And the first item I sold was on December the 7th. These pair of Levi's, they were the Stonewashed purple Levi's. They were my own. And I sold those for 13 bucks. With shipping, it came out to like $28.93. The second item I sold was a MacBook. I updated my MacBooks in December, and this was the previous MacBook that I had. This is a 2020 MacBook Air. I sold that for $415, and with shipping, it came out to $430. That was definitely a big purchase. Of course, you know, I didn't, you know, buy it for that much when I initially bought it years ago, but I got so much use out of that computer, and it still was in fantastic shape. Totally, I'm good with that, definitely. The other thing was I had a bunch of additional Xbox controllers. I sold this one used controller. These items are all used for $22, and shipped. It came out to $32.04. So that sold. Now those three items that I mentioned, the jeans, the MacBook Air, and that Xbox controller, those are all items I owned. Now we're getting into a couple of items, the next items that were sold. This is once again all in December. December was a good month. This 2024 New York Giants bobblehead that was given at a game, and a guest had an additional one, and he just gave it to me. And this thing sold for $45, and the ship it cost $54.66. That's pure like profit. I didn't pay anything for that. It was basically me going to work that day. That was a good sale, definitely. This other item was one of those items that my brother sent me, and this item was a wireless sports headwear. This kind of like it's a cozy that you could put, like, you know, when you're running in the winter, but it's a headset. And my brother sent this to me. That sold for 10 bucks, and shipped it cost $16.69. The final two items for December were items that I owned, that I used and I was getting rid of. And folks, always you can sell your stuff. That's how you should start. If you're starting on an eBay journey, start selling your own things, definitely. This item were a pair of Vans that I had that I wore plenty. And I brought these Vans used on eBay, by the way. I didn't buy these new. I brought these Vans used. And I sold those for $10, and the ship they cost $19.54. But it's crazy. Like, I brought them used on eBay, used them for like a year or two, and then I resold them, and I still got a little bit of money back, so that's good. And the final item that I sold was after the day after Christmas, the 26th, were these Perielis chinos that I owned. They were a little bit high on the bottom, so it wasn't crazy. I just got rid of them. I put them up for sale, and that was sitting in my storage unit for a while, and that came out to $10 and shipped. That was $17.88. So that was I say that that's a good month because there were so many items sold so frequently. Now getting into January, January didn't have as many sales, but it did have sales, you know, still. I will tell you, like December, as I mentioned, was very good. January, I'm going to tell you now, it was good too. February was it was totally dead in February. And now that we're in March, I'm not going to do the February and March in this particular video or audio. February and March, February was totally down. March starting to pick up some, definitely. But just goes to show that eBay is good December and January. I had an additional Xbox controller that I sold. I sold that for like $3 more than the previous controller. That came out to $25 and shipped. That was $33.31. I also sold these Airwalk sneakers that I owned as well. Sold those for $10 and shipped. It was $23.49. Now this next item, I had this sitting in my storage unit forever, and it finally sold. This Mega Constructs Halo Infinite Recon Getaway toy thing. I brought this thing at a time that I was still kind of sort of trying to do a little bit of a Amazon FBA retail arbitrage, like kind of go to a store, buy a toy, and then list it either on Amazon or on eBay and try to get, more money for it. But I think what I paid and what I ended up selling it for, I didn't make really any money on that, but just glad to get rid of it for sure. This next item was a plush that was a lost and found item from work. So this was as well given to me after the guest didn't come to claim it. And so this is like pure profit. There's nothing, just my packing materials, and like I said, I'm just showing up to work. And that sold for $11 and shipped. That was $18.20. This next item was one of the items my brother sent in one of those packages, and this was a skirt, a women's skirt, which I sold for $15 and shipped. It was $26.41. And the final item was sold at the end of the month was the Sony PlayStation camera, the PlayStation 5 camera, and I sold that for $32, and with shipping it came out to $41.38. And that was a return. Like the customer wanted to return that to me, but their window, I very generous. I gave them 30 days to go ahead. I think either I give them 30 days from when they buy the item to go ahead and return it to me. And then I think eBay gives them a little bit more time, but they never returned it. And that window closed, and the sale, I still got the money for it. So that was good. So in January, it's like almost an item sold, almost one item a week, which is that kind of a normal month, right? And my total for those 2 months, which I'm very happy with, was a little bit over $900. Super cool. The big item was selling my MacBook, definitely. Not that this was like a little bit of a higher period for me. I don't sell a lot of crazy things of high price tags on eBay, as you've seen a lot of $10 things and things like that. Now covering all of 2024, that is January the 1st, 2024, all the way to December 31st, 2024, my gross income on eBay was $4,881.25. And when my selling costs, taxes collected by eBay, you deduct all that, and my net sales for eBay, my net money that I made on eBay was $3,158.17. Now I wanted to also deduct my storage room costs. So just doing some quick calculation here, my storage room costs about $145 per month, $145. So let's do 145 times 12 months. That comes out to $1,740, $1,740, and that minus my net eBay income of $3,158.17, and that comes out to money made on eBay, which is $1,418.17. That's how much money I made on eBay in 2024. So actually I made money, so that's always good. Is eBay still worth doing? 100% it is. And even just to make a little side money, is what I do here. And if, as always, and I've said this on almost every video that I do eBay wise, the best way to start on eBay is to go ahead and sell the things that you have in your house that you're looking to get rid of. Old clothes, appliances, things of that nature. Or if it's not eBay, it doesn't even have to be eBay. It could be Facebook Marketplace. There's so many other places where you can go ahead and sell things. Money is literally sitting right in your house. You have things sitting there that it's just catching dust, then you can go ahead and get rid of that. Not saying all of it's going to sell, but I'm just saying it's a good way to start, definitely. But those are my numbers for 2024. That's my report for December 2024 and January 2025. And in the coming months, I'll give also February and March as well. My name is Paul. The website is paulhasfun.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bang!